Friends, now foes. Champion versus former champion. This is the case for Terence "Bud" Crawford and Shawn "Showtime" Porter. Although friends, don't be mistaken. When these two get in the ring, there will be no love. No punches will be pulled, and you should expect to see an all-out war. Both have shown a knack for letting their hands go, for throwing game plans out the window, and making fights personal. And when these guys get personal in a fight, they go after their opponent for one thing in mind: a devastating highlight reel win. We're going to be talking about Terence "Bud" Crawford versus Shawn "Showtime" Porter today on Glove Talk. Shawn Porter has a resume that is something to be admired. The former two-time champion has been in the ring with the best welterweights and top talent over the years. Bud is truly the last one on the list for him to fight, because after that, there are some young and hungry up-and-coming fighters such as Boots and Virgil Ortiz that would love to share the ring with him. At 34, there just isn't that many title shots left for Porter. This is what drives him, motivates him, and keeps Shawn hungry. With a fantastic work ethic, Shawn Porter is always trying to improve and stay at the very top of his game. Shawn's style of relentless pressure has made him incredibly frustrating to fight. With never being KO'd and eating some of the biggest shots from the hardest punchers in the division, Shawn Porter is an absolute nightmare to deal with, and it's safe to say that Bud is going to have his hands full on Saturday night. No one gets an easy win over Shawn Porter. It must be earned with 12 rounds of non-stop high-level boxing. Can the two-time become a three-time champion? We will find out this weekend. Bud Crawford is quite the love or hate type figure in boxing. His fans adore and admire the top-level skills that he shows when he fights. His haters, they simply point to his resume since he's been at welterweight. Regardless of how you feel about the man, one thing is for sure: Bud Crawford is must-see TV. This fight, I feel as though, is a statement fight. Crawford knows that everyone is going to be comparing his performance to his Texas counterpart, Errol Spence Jr. Often under the brightest lights is when the true stars shine, so we will see how bright of a star Crawford is during this fight. With a blue-collar work ethic, the 34-year-old knows that this fight is a dangerous one. He knows that there isn't a lot of time left to make some of the biggest fights in his division. If Crawford wins this one, this could be a setup for the long-awaited fight between him and Errol Spence Jr. This certainly won't be a walk in the park for the Omaha native, but as always, he's always ready to go and always ready for war. Prediction time now. Let's look at both these men side by side. Crawford and Porter are almost the exact same height, with a 1-inch difference, but they are the exact same age at 34. But that's where the similarities stop. Crawford has a whopping 4.5-inch reach advantage over Porter and has a KO percentage of almost 30% higher than Shawn Porter. Add on top of that Crawford is a switch hitter. Porter, on the other hand, is your typical orthodox stance fighter. Game plan wise, these two couldn't be any more different. Porter is going to want to fight in close and use volume, rough tactics, and pressure, along with powerful body shots. Crawford, on the other hand, is going to want to fight at range, letting his 4.5-inch reach advantage do the talking. Crawford, I think, is going to use counterpunching, jabs, and looping, whipping hooks, which he likes to throw. So who wins? For me, I see one of two scenarios playing out. Scenario 1, Crawford starts out slow like he sometimes does. Porter capitalizes on it and steals some early rounds, after which Crawford tries to adapt and make changes. He turns up the heat, but at this point, Porter has already found a comfortable home on the inside, frustrating Crawford. Crawford has issues, can't adapt fast enough, and in the end, Porter wins by decision. In scenario 2, which is the one honestly I think will play out, yes, Porter will steal the first couple rounds, but around 3 or 4, Crawford's incredible timing and counterpunching will start to come in. Crawford has the ability to go through the gears and raise his game, forcing Porter to do so as well. Porter will have some moments in the middle rounds, but honestly, Bud is just going to be too skilled, too quick, and too on point with his timing. In the later part of the fight, around 10 or 12, Porter gets stopped by Bud Crawford. The reason I came to this conclusion is simple. I think one of the most overlooked elements of Bud Crawford is his power. Crawford has stopped his last 8 opponents, and he hasn't gone the distance since 2016, where he fought Victor Postal. Combine that with his incredible timing, counterpunching, switch hitting, and well, to me, Terence Bud Crawford this Saturday is going to shine like the star he is. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. We'll be live for this fight on Saturday, so make sure to hit the subscribe button. With that said, thanks for stopping by.